Question 4 is about moment of inertia of a hollow cone. Well, let's read the question. It says, shown in the figure is a hollow ice cream cone. It's open at the top. If its mass is capital M, radius of its top r and height h, then its moment of inertia about its axis is, and the 4 options are given. Well, it's a matter of fact that moment of inertia of this hollow cone about the axis shown is coming out as mr square by 2. So, that is the moment of inertia, and that means option 2 is correct. Okay. Now, in case you do not know the fact that moment of inertia in this case is mr square by 2, how to evaluate it? Well, we can do one thing. We can take origin here, call this as the y axis, go to y distance and take an element which will be shaped like a ring. Okay. So, this distance is y, and let us say that this vertical distance in fact is dy. So, now this element is shaped like a ring. We need to evaluate its mass. Let us say evaluate its mass in terms of surface density of the mass, and then the moment of inertia I can be given as integral of dm into r square, where r is the radius of this ring. That means this radius is the radius of this ring. So, after we evaluate this integral for the entire cone, we will get the value mr square by 2. Let us now move on to question number 5. Question 5 says a screw gauge has 50 divisions on its circular scale. The circular scale is 4 units ahead of the pitch scale marking prior to use. Upon one complete rotation of the circular scale, a displacement of 0.5 millimeter is noticed on pitch scale. The nature of zero error involved and the least count of the screw gauge are respectively. Well, a typical question involving screw gauge this time. So, very often we have questions either from vernier calipers or screw gauge. Now, in this particular case, first of all, let us look at the zero error. In fact, we just have to say what is the nature of the zero error. Is it positive or negative? And from the information given, because it says that the circular scale is 4 units ahead of the pitch scale marking prior to use, it clearly shows that the zero error is positive. What about the least count? The least count of a screw gauge is in fact pitch divided by the number of divisions on the circular scale. So, that means as far as the least count is concerned, we can say the least count is equal to pitch, and the pitch is 0.5 millimeter, because the statement shows one complete rotation of the circular scale means displacement of 0.5 millimeter on the pitch scale. So, pitch is 0.5 millimeter. So, 0.5 millimeter divided by the number of divisions, which is 50. So, this is the least count. Now, if we convert this into micrometer, this comes out as 10 micrometer. So, this is 10 micrometer, and that means option 2 is correct, both with respect to the nature of the zero error and the least count of the screw gauge. Let us now go to question number 6. Question 6 says an insect is at the bottom of a hemispherical ditch of radius 1 meter. It crawls up the ditch but starts slipping after it is at height h from the bottom. If the coefficient of friction between the ground and the insect is 0.75, then the value of h is, and the 4 options are given. Clearly, the question relates to friction and it is about laws of motion. Let us draw the situation here. So, it is something like this. We have a hemispherical ditch. Let us say that this is the hemispherical ditch, and the insect crawls up. It is able to go to the maximum height h, okay, because after that it starts slipping. So, let us say that the height h is here. So, this height has been shown as h, and if we look at the free body diagram of the insect at this position, what are the forces acting? Well, the forces are mg, its weight, the normal reaction, and the normal reaction will be passing, through the center of curvature. The line of the normal reaction will be passing through the center of curvature, and the frictional force. Well, in this particular case, the frictional force is the limiting friction because it's the maximum height to which it can reach. So that means we can take the frictional force as mu into n. And let's say that this angle is theta. So in fact, when we consider that the forces are in equilibrium, the resultant force is 0, the relation between mu and theta is mu equals tan theta. So let's start with now mu equals tan theta, and if that is the case, what's the value of h? Now the value of h would be, h is in fact equal to r minus, if this angle is theta, well, let's draw a vertical line through this, let's extend this line, this angle is 90 degree. So this angle is 90 degree minus theta, and this angle is also in fact equal to theta. So what's the value of h in terms of radius? Well, h is in fact equal to radius minus radius into cos theta. So we now have radius minus radius cos theta. So h is equal to, let's say, r into 1 minus cos theta, and tan theta value is known because the value of mu is given to us, that is 0.75. If tan theta is 0.75, what's the value of cos theta? Well, if tan theta is 0.75, that means 3 by 4, the hypotenuse is 5, cos theta is 4 by 5 or 0.8. What about the value of the radius? Now the radius is given as 1 meter. So let's now substitute all the values to find the value of h. We have 1 meter into 1 minus 0.8. So this is coming out as 0.2 meter. And if we look at the options, well, clearly option 3 matches with our solution. Let's now go to question number 7.